almost like the Flashpoint, where it starts, one of the key matrix lines that will help shatter this statist centralized system.
While the punk rockers and the moon stompers who rout on the corners where despair for change. I started thinking, you know,
hello, ladies and gentlemen. Jay-Z here with Flashpoint Radio. It is July 31st, a Tuesday, and on Tuesdays here in Flashpoint Radio, I like to focus on my friend Zach's website, tyrannywatch.org. He compiles a ton of information, scours through all of the news, and brings you what is important. And, well, when I use his information, it gives me a break of scouring and searching the web for things to bring you. So it kind of takes some effort off of my shoulders and kills two birds with one stone. I want to point you, if you are on Facebook and if you live in Missouri, to a Facebook group page, Missouri Citizens Against Red Light Traffic Cameras. Zach, I, and our friend Kenny have created this group. We've got our first protest scheduled for this Thursday morning in Hazelwood, Missouri. And basically our goal is to get red light traffic cameras taken down from across the state of Missouri. They are unconstitutional. They do nothing but take money out of consumers' pockets. And, well, they increase the risk of accidents. Studies have shown that all over the nation. So, if you're on Facebook, live in Missouri, please join this group, get active, and help us defeat this unconstitutional breach of our freedoms. We're going to start, though, with an article from Tyranny Watch, one that Zach wrote himself. Please check this article out. He does a series called Matrix of Terms, where he goes over certain terms in the alternative media, in the truth movement, and kind of gives you a general breakdown, kind of a crash course into what we're talking about so you can be more well-rounded and more grounded when doing research and when having a debate with someone who knows nothing. His newest article is Finance Oligarchs, Matrix of Terms, Finance Oligarchs. It goes over, well, the rulers of this world and this nation. Basically, the international banksters. We are ruled by a few. Usually, they say about 6 mega banks, and it's not too many people at the top of those banks that call the shots. Read this article. It is a basic crash course into who is our rulers, how they got there, and how to spot them. It's got some video of mainstream media basically proving, coming out in the open, telling us that, yes, we are ruled by bankers. Check it out. But now let's move along to a few stories that he has compiled. He has searched and found for us. First, from the GrantJKidney.com. World's first smart city to be completed by 2015. Songdo, the Orwellian control grid. This is a city in Asia that will be the first fully functional smart city. So if you want to see what those finance oligarchs, those rulers, the elite in this world want for us, the lowly serfs of the world, look no further than this article. Complete surveillance, automation, robots taking away our choices, taking away our rights. They say it'll be better. And as people have said, technology is passive. It is not the technology that is bad, it is how it is used. It's like a gun or a brick. A brick can be used to build a house or break a window. It is not the technology that is bad, it is the people behind it and the uses for it. Moving along, this article is a bit old, but it highlights something that's still in the news. That is Iran, from EurasianNet.org. To cope with America-led sanctions, Iran stockpiling U.S. wheat. So, America throws around sanctions, so does the Eurozone, to be placed on Iran for not following through with their anti-nuclear arms agreements. And, well, it turns out that Iran has been stockpiling on wheat. And they are doing what, well, every individual American should be doing just out of common sense. They are stockpiling wheat because they feel that there may be a point when they can't import any wheat from other countries because of sanctions, namely sanctions from America. This article goes on to say, meanwhile, the stockpiling is having the unintended consequence of helping American wheat growers in the U.S. economy. As Reuters notes in another article, Iran's stockpiling includes buying large amounts of wheat from the land of amber waves of grain. So we're talking about putting sanctions on Iran, and we always talk about people trading with Iran. They're buying stockpiles and stockpiles of wheat from Americans, which I'm a free trade advocate. I have no problem with trade. But if we're at war with Iran, and if we shouldn't be trading with Iran, then why are we selling them our wheat? I think we should sell anyone our wheat, but first, see if anyone in America wants to buy that wheat, considering the food prices are going through the roof. Moving right along to the New York Times from last week. Al-Qaeda taking deadly new role in Syria's conflict. It's a sort of image that has become a staple of the Syrian revolution. A video of masked men calling themselves the Free Syrian Army and brandishing AK-47s. Watch out, Bill O'Reilly. With one unsettling difference. In the background hang two flags of Al-Qaeda. White Arabic writing on a black field. So yes, as we've gone over on Flashpoint Radio, as Alex Jones has pointed out, since the beginning of the Syria conflict, it is Al-Qaeda that is running the rebels in Syria, that is performing massacres and terrorist actions against Assad's regime to stir up a civil war type conflict in that country. And as we've pointed out, Al-Qaeda was created and funded by the CIA, by America in Afghanistan to fight the Soviets in the 1980s. So we started them, and guess what? All signs point to we're still running them. And as we've pointed out as well, we've been sending money and basically paying the Free Syrian Army, the rebels in Syria. So, as I've pointed out, we've been paying Al-Qaeda in Syria. So when it blows up, guess who's to blame? Western powers and the imperial nations of Great Britain and the United States. Because you know the CIA loves you, and the CIA is doing only good things for this country, and we don't need to know about that. That's the one thing I hate, is when I bring up the CIA to neocons, they say, well, there's things we shouldn't know about. You serious? I'd like to know everything my government is doing in my name. The government is made up of us, so everything they do is in our name. From the New American. CIA manages drug trade, Mexican official says. In a recent interview, Chihuahua state spokesman Guillermo Terrares Villanueva told Al Jazeera, you can believe them if you want, that the CIA and other international security outfits don't fight drug traffickers. Instead, Villanueva argued, they try to control and manage the illegal drug market for their own benefit. It's the same as it always has been. Look into BCCI. That's a now defunct banking operation out of the Middle East that was set up and funded by the CIA and was used to smuggle weapons, drugs, and to launder money in the Iran-Contra scandal of the 1980s. It's still going on. It's just now called Fast and Furious. The CIA has facilitated the drug trade in this country for decades. So if your son or daughter is addicted to heroin, guess what? There's an 80% chance that those poppy fields were grown under the tutelage of American forces, and they were imported under the knowing eyes of the CIA. But guess what? They're not going to give your son or daughter a break when they throw them in jail for being caught with heroin, or for when your son or daughter overdoses on heroin. Guess what? It's all run by this country because we don't have a legitimate government. Read the article. It's all there. This is an actual Mexican official, not just some kook. And we covered this yesterday, but let's look at it again. From Infowars.com, DHS puts out urgent order for riot gear. Federal agency expecting unrest at RNC and DNC. Well, the DHS and the FPS, Federal Protective Services, has put out an urgent request for bids regarding riot control gear. Riot helmets, upper body shoulder protection, thigh and groin protection, forearm protection, tactical gloves. Oh yeah, what are they looking for? Well, they say that they're prepping for possible unrest at the Republican and Democratic national conventions, or just possibly general martial law in this country because of an economic collapse or some other manufactured crisis that our government, both sides, two sides to the same coin, two-party dictatorship, puts forward because they care about the government, continuity of agenda. So yes, they're prepping. Are you? And just some proof that neither side gives a rat's ass about you, and neither side actually is going to stop this collapse from happening. From Salon.com, Economic Woes makes 2012 an anti-election. Neither candidate has a serious proposal to solve our current economic woes. By Robert Reich. I don't like Robert Reich. I feel his policies and his beliefs are completely wrong, but hey, even a blind dog can find its way to a food bowl once in a while. The worst economy since the Great Depression, and you might think at least one candidate would come up with a few big ideas for how to get us out of it. President Obama has decided against advancing any bold ideas, and Mitt Romney simply says he's going to, extend the Bush tax cuts and have undefined spending cuts. Remember, one candidate did have a plan, and it was Ron Paul, who was going to cut $1 trillion out of the budget in the first year. So yes, both major candidates don't care about the economic crisis. Why? They just want to get in power, because it's a reverse hot potato. Whoever's in power when this system collapses gets to call martial law, gets to maintain power for an undetermined amount of time, because when martial law is declared, when posse comitatus is eliminated, we don't have a republic anymore. We have a dictatorship. And then it goes from a two-party dictatorship to a one-party dictatorship. And then you'll be crying for Ron Paul, freedom and liberty, and our founders. But until then, believe that Mitt Romney is going to save you. Believe that if we give Obama another 4 years, he can actually come through on his promises. Believe the lies. Believe the hype. Don't believe the truth. Wake up, people. This is happening, and it's happening fast. Jay-Z for Flashpoint Radio saying, God bless, keep your eyes to the sky. I will see you again tomorrow.
Give them the boot, the roots are radicals. Give them the boot, you now are a radical. Give them the boot, the roots are reggae on my stereo.